Welcome back to Romantasy Chaos HQ, the podcast. We are Avery and Xavier Harleston, healthcare professionals by day, romantasy theorists, and aspiring authors by night. Today we are covering the epigraph from Iron Flame, chapter 14. This is your warning. There will be spoilers for the entire Empyrean series. If you have not read all 3 books, it may be time to turn back. As honorary members of Second Squad, we cuss
A lot.
and discuss
All adult topics.
and make a fuss.
About stooping.
It's not very sexy. We like a challenge, so we tackle each epigraph without prepping, placing it into context for the whole series, not just the chapter or book it's tied to. But you don't have to take it cold, so here is our post-recording one-sentence summary of the chapter. Violet and Squad are dropped into wilderness training with infantry, healer, and scribe cadets cut off from their dragons and signets. Welcome to RSC. There are 6 minutes on the clock, and Iron Flame lore more confusing than having 2 maps during land nav. So, don't blink, don't scroll, don't let Taryn distract you. We have 360 seconds to blow your minds.
And go.
There is a natural distrust that must be overcome between infantry cadets and riders. This exists mainly because riders will never trust that infantry has the courage to hold the line when dragons arrive, and infantry will never trust that the dragons won't eat them. Major Afendra's Guide to the Riders Quadrant, Unauthorized Edition. Okay, even though we have Major Offender is often dubious. In this case, I feel like this is not propaganda. It's just honest.
It's just the start of the rider infantry miscommunication trope.
Well, it's interesting here because why is there a natural distrust between infantry and riders? But do you think Afendra talks about the relationship between riders and scribes and riders and healers? Because we know, like, what do writers like? Scribes, apparently, if Lilith and Asher are any indication.
Or Sawyer.
Or it's exactly Sawyer. So
Zayden, kinda.
Although we have Nolan is a writer, and he's with Winifred. She's a healer. Do we know of any writers who are with infantry?
No, because there's
a natural distrust.
I don't know why there's a natural distrust. I don't know why they are afraid they're going to not hold.
Because
the
if
line.
they were courageous, they would have crossed the parapet.
Well, and could we define courageous?
Let's do that.
Because like courageous means that like you're afraid and you do things anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the things anyway means you should stand there while the dragon burns you. I mean, like the riders are like, I'm in formation, and Solus shows up and like fries like a third of some unit, and we just kind of hang out. Like that's not bravery per se or courageousness. Like that's just kind of.
So, like, here's the thing: you could be infantry and just be like, look, I don't really care for dragons. They smell funny. I don't love heights. Their poop has got to be ginormous.
Maybe
I don't want to be a rider.
Maybe they're just afraid that when the dragons fly in, they're gonna poop on them.
That could I don't know. The way I imagine this, it takes someone out.
That's the worst death certificate ever.
Cause of death.
Dragon poop.
ICD 1011 code. Death by dragon poop.
Oh, that's a shitty way to die.
Oh my lord. Oh boy. Anyway, I don't think the choice to go into infantry does not mean that you don't have courage.
Correct. And I also don't think stating there's a natural distrust fits when you give them 2 different maps.
Yeah,
like you're like
you are fostering distrust.
We would like the infantry and the riders to not get along, so let's give them 2 different maps.
Like, yeah. Because would that even happen in the field, like IRL?
Would you get 2 different maps? You're lucky if you have 1 map.
You're lucky if your map is even accurate. I mean, I guess it depends on what it's a map of, but still. Do you think that there's a distrust between other quadrants? Like, it frustrates me to no end that we really don't get any insight into healers and infantry at all. Like, our biggest insight into the infantry quadrant is Halden, which definitely is not a good representation. And our biggest insight into the healers quadrant is Winifred, right? Like, who's married to Nolan. Um,
But but if you took a fighter jet pilot and put them in a survival maneuver with green berets, the fighter jet pilot wouldn't be like, I can read a map better than you.
Probably not,
So why are the riders like, I could read a map better than you? Like, I fly around and see
because 'cause they're
everything.
kind of arrogant pricks. I mean, Zayden said it, not me, but just repeating Zayden. Actually,
I,
Fen said it, and Zayden said he was right, but
I mean, it's one thing to be like, we're more badass than you because we have dragons. It's another thing to be like, and you can't read maps, but despite the fact that like you have to actually walk on the ground and navigate on the ground, and you don't get to see where you're going. So like you probably use maps a whole lot more than we do. Also, like it's not like you like open up a map on the back of your dragon.
no, but if you're on the back of your dragon probably knows. Like, where in Navarre has your dragon not been or doesn't have other dragons to rely on? Like, maybe you're Aotrim, so you've never been everywhere in the entire continent, but you're probably talking to other dragons if you haven't. But that's the other thing.
Plus, you have Farsight because you're a dragon.
This is the first year that RSC is happening where they're being cut off from their dragons, right?
What's the
Because
first
the
time that?
serum is new.
What's the first time they have serum?
So I could assume, like, I would imagine when you're in contact with your dragon, it is a different story because your dragon's able to give you information that, you wouldn't otherwise have access to that information. So that way would change the dynamic. But if you were completely cut off from your dragon because you're on the serum, like, what is your advantage here, according to you, writers? And that's our time. Did we blow your minds? Let us know in the comments. And remember, we love you. Stay out of the clouds, off the ice, and come back to us. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Remember, lore lovers, fantasy fanatics, and good girls, like, rate, review, subscribe, and share.